Hello, folks. My name is Timothy Phelps, and I believe that everyone has hurdles in which they must overcome in life. I believe that everyone needs someone in their corner. And I know that with God and massive ambition, anyone can overcome the odds. Now, we're set to have a special guest in studio today, Siloh Moses. At this time, I'm not sure if he's having some technical difficulties or what, but at this time, he's not here. So we're going to continue on. And if he jumps in, then we'll bring him in on studio. Uh, Hopefully, he makes it because he has a very inspiring story and he's doing great things over in Las Vegas. But in the meantime, I'll tell you a little bit about Siloh. Siloh was homeless there for a while, and of course, being homeless that takes a lot takes a lot out of you and makes you feel like there's not hope sometimes. And I definitely understand that because there was a point that I myself became homeless, and I'd actually started clearing up my life and had got away from the drugs and alcohol and everything, and just struggled. I mean, it was just a struggle. And even though I turned my life over to the Lord and felt like, things should be better at that point, it was still hard. And, I quickly learned that just because I gave my life to the Lord doesn't mean that everything's going to be gravy. I still had to have that ambition and be willing to do whatever it takes legally and ethically to make sure that I was successful. But I did find myself homeless for a little bit. Now, luckily, for the most part, I ended up having people that help me out, let me stay with them or whatever. But there was there were times where I didn't have that to fall back on, and found myself doing whatever it took just to survive. Going into dumpsters and trying to find something to eat. As nasty as that sounds, whenever you don't have anything else, you do whatever you got to do. So, there were times where I ended up finding myself digging into the dumpsters trying to find something to eat. I would try to find any place I could to sleep and just stay warm. And I found an old abandoned train tunnel here locally and stayed in there. Would go in there and just kind of cuddle up, just keep most of the wind off of me and stuff. So it definitely helps. It definitely helped and everything. But during that time, I would find myself sometimes trying to get low. Now I made a lot of changes in my life and had started to get my mindset right, started really getting in a better position. I think if I had became homeless during the time period that I was still dealing with drugs and alcohol, still trying to kill myself, things like that, I think that it would have affected me a lot more. But it was still hard. It's and the hardest part wasn't even the fact of being homeless. It was just how people that just how they would treat you, because of course you look homeless a lot of times, not always, but it's hard to find a place to try to get cleaned up and stuff. It's hard to find clothes that are decent and everything. So people just treat you like dirt, and that's why I stress so much for people just to show random acts of love and kindness to people, even if you don't know their situation, because it's exactly that. You don't know their situation. I always say that you can be the reason for the additional pain of a person, or you can be the change. That's so true. It's so easy to look down on people. It's so easy just to treat somebody different because they're not like you or they're in a bad situation. It's easy, but it's not right, and it's wrong, and it's hurtful, and that's not what God wants us to do. We're supposed to go out and treat people with love and kindness, walk as Jesus walked. We're not perfect, but why? What does it get us to be hateful and be rude to somebody else? Our words could ultimately be the thing that pushes them over the edge, and we have to think about stuff like that. I know it would kill me. It would kill me deep inside if I said something out of the way to somebody and they harmed themselves because of that pushed them over the edge. And granted, I always strive not to do that, because I've been there. So just make sure that as you go throughout your days, you are showing that love and kindness. And also, another thing that I always like to talk about is just a second here, showing gratitude every day. I know I'm blessed, and I say that humbly because I'm so thankful for everything. And it's not even the success of the businesses, but I mean everything. Just I'm thankful just to wake up and to be able to breathe. There's so much that we can be thankful for. And even if you're not, there were times in my life where I wasn't successful, but I still had a roof over my head. I still had food in my belly. During those times, I know I griped and I complained about everything. I gripe about the food I had to eat at times. You know, I gripe about the house that I was living in or the apartment I was living in and how I hated it and it was a bad place to be. It was still a house. And like I'm sitting here thinking now, like, why did I complain about that? I should have been thankful because I still had a house, a roof over my head. And like I said, there was times that ended up not being the case, but it's just it's amazing how we can so easily fall into being negative about our situations and the things that we go through and it not being exactly as we want it. Yet there's people that has it so much worse, such as the people that are homeless. Now I know it's all about, in a sense, your ambition as well. And if you're in a situation where you are homeless and that's all you've ever known, so that's really all you care about, and you're fine with staying that way, well, guess what? There's nothing that any of us can do about it because they've accepted it and that's the way they're fine with that. But the people who still have that desire to change, to get better, you know, instead of being negative towards them and hateful towards them, we should all band together and lend a helping hand. There's something that each of us can offer somebody else. We all can offer somebody something. And as I'm sitting here doing the work that I've been doing with the coaching and the motivation stuff and things like that, I've kind of found it amazing in a sense of how many people have reached out or just conversated with me, tell me how they want to do something like that too. They want to be able to help people. They want to be a difference. And since Siloh's not been able to be here yet, I'm actually going to steal one thing that I know that he says a lot. Just do it. Just do it. You know, whenever he started, he didn't. He'll tell you he didn't know exactly how to start. He just knew what he wanted to do. He had a dream and he just went for it. And that's what we've got to do. Stop worrying about all the little details. My broker always likes to say, "Don't stress the small stuff. Just do it. Done is better than perfect. If you want to be a difference, then go be a difference. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity because the perfect opportunity may never come. Just do it." But no matter where you're at in life, there's been times in my life where I wanted things to get better and struggled to see how it was going to get better. And I always leaned on my circumstances. That was the reason why, my current circumstances wasn't going to allow it. But one thing that I say is I believe with God and massive ambition that anyone can overcome the odds. Your ambition, your desire for success has to be greater than your circumstance. When your desire for success is greater than the circumstance that you're in, no matter what it is, then you will find a way to be successful. You will find a way to get out of that circumstance. You will find a way to make a change in your own life. And once you make a change and once you do find your success, Don't forget to give back. Once you bounce back, don't forget to give back. Vitally important. Vitally important. And you'll be amazed as to what will come once you do. And I know I'm kind of all over the place today. Like I said, I'm supposed to have a special guest in studio, so kind of winging it here a little bit, but that's okay. In the end, I just hope that no matter what you're going through, if anyone's watching that's dealing with stuff, that that there's hope, that things can get better. You just have to make sure that your ambition is greater than your circumstance and keep pushing forwards. And if you're watching and you've got a desire in your heart that you want to make a difference in this world, then just do it. Start. You don't have to have all the details together. One of the foundations that he had started, the guy that's supposed to be the special guest, Siloh, was hashtag Serving Hope LV. And that's the name of his company. And the reason for that was because of the fact that he didn't have the money and the resources for the website and stuff. So he utilized the social media. He utilized the tools that he had. And that's one thing that we've got to do is we've got to utilize the tools and the resources that we do have and just do it. And in the end, when we do that and we just go for it, if we're in it for the right reasons, and if your why is strong enough, then you will find success, and you will find that more resources and more opportunities will open up for you. Just like the magic mirror concept that I created. Everything that you put out into the world will be reflected back to you. So when you're having that faith and you're doing the things that you love and you're passionate, that passion will shine through. People will recognize it. Just be honest with people. Be upfront, be blunt. I'm working on a challenge right now that I'm creating to try to help people overcome different things. And one of the challenges that I'm doing right now, it definitely pushes people outside their comfort zone. And it is being truthful and honest, but it pushes them. And it will be great because if someone does the challenge and they follow through and they do the steps that's required, then they will find that they will overcome that fear. And it's something that I had to do myself. In a sense, I didn't do it exactly as I'm creating the challenge, but looking back, there's some things that I always wish I did do. And I've kind of added those into the challenge as well and stuff. And I'm really excited for that. And there's a lot of things going on for Phelps Can Help, and working on an online platform to for the coaching and stuff. We've already got the private groups that's been created. Got the all the details worked out, the outline. Got the online payment systems up and running. Got a couple little things trying to tweak out there. We'll definitely be speaking more on that here soon. I'd love to give an opportunity to give somebody free access, and just for one in return for them getting the free access to all the systems and stuff, to be able to just get feedback. That honest feedback is what I need more than anything. But yeah, anyways, back to kind of the message, I guess, of the day here is, no matter what you're going through, just have hope. Hold on, know that everything will be okay. Don't focus on the negatives, focus on the positives. And I know that's hard to do sometimes, but there are positives in every situation. Just like last year, 2020, it was a lot of negatives that was thrown at us, a lot, but there's so many positives, and most people fail to realize those positives. Now I can look at it and be like, well, yeah, I bought my house and got my dream home and everything. So, that's definitely a positive. And a lot of people can look at things like that. And, I started a new business in 2020. It's easy to look at things like that, but the things that's hard to look at is kind of the message behind the scenes, I guess. At the beginning of 2020, I had talked about how 2020 was going to be the year of new vision. Kind of making a play off the, joking a little bit and making a play off the 2020 vision thing. But in the end, was it not? Was it not the year of new vision? Did it not give us a new way of seeing things, a way of thinking outside the box, so to speak? It definitely did, man. It got us thinking about things in a whole new light, finding new ways of doing business and doing other things. Um, and it gave us a new perspective on relationships too. When I think a lot of us could find that we struggled with truly being the person that we needed to be for some of our family and friends, being there like we should. And we found regrets in the end, in a sense, because of the fact that we wasn't, and we missed that and we wanted it and we couldn't have it. It's kind of one of those things, you want what you can't have sometimes. But it gave us a whole new outlook on relationships and stuff. And a lot of people treated the people they cared about better. Unfortunately, didn't always treat the people you didn't know better. But yeah, that's a totally different story. But there's always positives that you can find in every situation, even in the year 2020. But if you focus on the negatives, that's what you're going to see. You're not going to see the positives. And that's the whole point of the magic mirror concept that I created. You literally get what you put out into the world. So be positive. Focus on those positives, and you'll see the positives more clearly. And you won't see the negatives as much. You really won't. It's one reason why I stay away from the news, because I know the news is full of negativity always. All right, I know it's about 12:20 now. I'm assuming that we're not going to be able to get Siloh on today, but that's okay. I hope that there's still been beneficial in some sense. I really wish he could have came on today, because he's definitely got an amazing story. But if anybody's interested, his name's Siloh. He's from Las Vegas, and you can see what he's doing over there. He's doing some great things. So let's see here. In just a moment here. Yes, Linda, that's very true. See if I can throw this up here. I don't know if it shows the whole thing, but most definitely, no, none of us are any better than anybody else, and vice versa. It doesn't matter what someone looks like. It doesn't matter what they have. It doesn't matter, even how successful they are. That doesn't mean that they're better than you. A lot of times, people will reach out to somebody, and let's say that you've got somebody you're wanting to do something with. Let's say that you're wanting to make a difference in the lives of others, and you're wanting to make a change, and you call somebody up, and the one of the first things that you say is, I know you're busy. Sorry to bother you. I know you're busy. Even though, like, I understand the reasoning for you doing that is because you're trying to be respectful of their time. But by doing that, you're also almost putting yourself below them. They're up here and you're down here. Their time is worth more than your time. And we have to get outside of that mentality, because by doing that, we're automatically putting them up there. And a lot of times we do it without even realizing. And when we do that, whether people realize it or not, when we do that, they look at us differently. And it's hard to really explain that concept, but there's a lot of things that we do based upon the way someone acts towards us that we don't even realize that we do, or vice versa. It's all psychology, and that's definitely not my field of study, but I have studied a lot on it, but I don't have no degree or anything like that. But most definitely, none of us are better than anybody else, and definitely appreciate that comment there. Um, we have to think about that. We have to think about the fact whenever we meet people like that are in it, like a homeless situation or something. I've watched people, man. I've watched people even today. Like there could be somebody that's homeless sitting outside of a door of a gas station, and I'll sit here and watch people, and they'll walk around so they're not walking like right next to them. Like, I don't know, they think it's contagious, uh, and just like they walk by, no one speaks. One of the things that I say is that I believe that everyone needs someone in their corner. And man, growing up, just growing up and being into abuse and neglect and stuff, and dealing with bullies at school, and just everything that happened when I was young, I always just felt alone. Hence the title of my book, The Invisible Child. I always felt alone. I always felt like I didn't have anybody. I just wanted someone there. Could not understand why it was that I was not able to be loved by anyone, why I was not able to have someone that cared enough about me just to be there for me. And then as I grew older and I found myself in situations of, battling drug and alcohol addictions and stuff like that, it seemed like the only people that was really around was the people that wanted something. They wanted some of what I had, some of the drugs or something. How great it would have been even during that time period just to have someone there that was on the other side, that wasn't trying to judge, but trying to be there for me. When I was homeless and found myself digging through dumpsters trying to find something to eat, crawling up in that train tunnel just to try to stay warm. Instead of people looking down on me and being hateful and rude, man, how great it would have been just to have one person there to help lift me up, to let me know even everything's going to be all right. I never asked for a handout during those situations. Even when I was at my lowest, I didn't ask for a handout. I didn't want it. And it's not even the fact that having someone in my corner at that point would have been somebody giving me money, because that probably wouldn't have helped, or at least not long. But someone being nice, someone being there for me, and trying to help in a sense of being motivational or helping me have hope to see the beauty in things. That's all you really need sometimes. You just need someone in your corner. And that's what I am wanting to strive to do, is to try to be there for people and help people, to be someone there in their corner. I just think it's so vitally important. And that's what it takes a lot of times for the people that are, struggling and currently homeless and stuff. They just need someone there to help them out, to be nice, to show compassion, not to give a handout. Not saying you shouldn't help people give money if they need it, but I truly think that there's more valuable things than that. Because if they're in that situation and they want to get out of that situation, there's resources and tools and things that each of us can offer something. Maybe it be helping them with resumes, or maybe it be to, clean clothes to go to an interview. Maybe there's something in their life, if we got to know them, that they're struggling with, that's they feel is the thing that's holding them back, and maybe we're good at that, and maybe we can help them. It's all about trying to truly be the difference in this world, to cause a change, not to be the reason for the pain. Anyways, I'm going to be mindful of everybody's time. I know I've been on here for almost 30 minutes, and I wish we could have gotten our special guest in today, but that's okay. I appreciate everyone that did tune in, and we'll be definitely looking forward to next week. I'm not sure if let me see if I've got anybody scheduled for next week right now. I may not, but yeah, there's not anybody on the schedule for next week. So most likely it will just be me, unless I get something changes. But I'll have something planned at least, so we're not kind of winging it like this. But anyways, I hope everybody has a blessed day, and I really appreciate everyone that tuned in. And just remember to show love and kindness. Be grateful for the things you have. Practice positivity, and remember, change your mindset, change your life. This is Timothy Phelps. Phelps Can Help LLC. Y'all have a blessed day. Everyone has obstacles in which they must overcome in life. He believes that everyone needs someone in their corner. With God